Welcome from Senate Homeland Security Committee, Florida Senator Ashley Moody. Senator, thank you for being here. VP Vance's trip to Pakistan's on hold. The Iranians are stalling on sending a delegation. It appears they're trying to wait out the president. The president, for his part, just extended the ceasefire, writing, quote, "We have been asked to hold our attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and reps can come up with a unified proposal. I've therefore directed our military to continue the blockade and in all other respects remain ready and able, and will therefore extend the ceasefire until such time as their proposal is submitted." Senator Moody, it was before that statement, it looked like we were right on the edge of more military action against the Iranians. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, this does not surprise me. You know, I served as a judge for over a decade and Florida's Attorney General before I became a United States Senator. And I can tell you, with trying to push towards a successful resolution, you first put someone on their back feet, and then you make sure that you have the right people, the decision makers at the table that can actually, you know, agree to something that will stick and be successful. So, you know, time and time again, you can get the first step down. You put people on their back foot. Clearly, we have done that militarily. We now have a blockade, 100% blockade of Iranian ports. Now we need to make sure that we have the right people at the table when we begin these discussions. Otherwise, it is a waste of time. And
right.
I think this was a smart decision by a guy who wrote the book on deals. I think this was a very smart decision because you've seen over the last week there have been some mixed messages about who really needs to be in those discussions. And I think VP Vance and President Trump just want to make sure they get this done, they get it done the right way so that they are truly protecting the interests of America and the American people. Well,
and again, the president is talking right now. He's talking to some athletes. He may talk about Iran. We'll go to that. But to your point about whether there is, obviously there is a divide in leadership. Half of the leadership was killed by U.S. and Israeli forces over the past month and a half. Wellington Alta's chief market strategist, James Thorne, says about Iran's unraveling that its leadership is splintered. One side that wants a deal, and the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard, who fears that a deal will take them out of power. I'm just wondering if it's possible to separate the never-enders from those who want to make a deal. What do you think?
Well, look, that may be. You know, I think trying to hone in on who is ultimately going to be not only at the table, but when they resolve this, who can ensure that these negotiations stick and that we can ensure peace and protection of America, our allies, and our assets in the Middle East, that's going to be key. And so, again, I think this was the right decision to pause, make sure we have the right people at the table, and that any discussions moving forward we understand that they think they have more cards than they actually have, that they have more leverage than they actually have. And the longer we hold this blockade, the longer we hold them accountable and force them to the table, it's going to ensure a more successful resolution.
And Senator, the longer that we have the blockade, the more China is going to hurt. And we had thought that the more pressure China would put on Iran. But it looks like they may be supplying Iran with more weapons, or at least trying to. What do we do about the China equation in all this?
Well, look, I think the U.S. military has shown not only when we were dealing with Venezuela and those waters, and now here, they are showing that they are going to board these ships, these ghost ships. They're going to take control of them as they can, have the right to do under international law. And I think that's going to continue to keep the pressure on so that we can reach a successful resolution.
All right, Senator Ashley Moody, thank you very much for responding to all this breaking information. And again, the president is speaking. That's a live event at the White House. If he veers into the discussion of Iran, we will go there. Senator, thanks again for being here. Appreciate it.